Hey guys, it is grind time for a lot of you. For a lot of you right now, summer is hitting and you are busier than you can possibly stand. So, what I want to talk to you about is the following. What I want to talk to you about is the following. I want to talk to you about how you can keep your energy high during the season of absolute grind. And there are a couple tips that are just tried and true that are really going to help you. All right. So let's jump right into it because technicians, CSR salespeople, I want you to have an amazing summer, but I want you to make it through to the other side. Last thing I want to see you guys is to quit or to get burnt out because that can be absolutely the worst. Okay, so here's one of the tips, right? One of the things that can create a lot of additional stress for us during the busy time is literally just not having enough healthy food to eat. Oh, bore me to tears, right? You don't understand. I'm busy. I'm grabbing whatever I can. Look, I get that. But I also know that when you're busy, when you're working all the time, and you jump in line to go to McDonald's, everybody else is in line at the same time. A, the food's not healthy for you. B, now you're wasting 30 to 40 minutes in line. You get frustrated. And I'd be willing to bet that some of you, because of the amount of weight that you've had in these lines, have literally pulled out. So now you're frustrated, you're irritated, your cortisol's spiking like crazy, and you don't even have any food to eat. It's terrible. So one of the things I'm going to recommend to you is just pack your lunch. It's very old school. It's very go back to elementary, but it also really works. When you pack your own lunch, you can control what food goes into your body and you can eat in between calls, which is fantastic. So, here's one of the things that I really recommend to keep your energy up is actually not eating lunch all at one pop. I think you're going to find in the heat of the summer that if you can take in little small meals while you're driving, have a little sandwich, half a sandwich here, that's actually going to give you a longer ride of energy. All right. Now let's say that you actually do end up getting a small lunch break. Fantastic. Well, what I'd recommend is if in that small lunch break, if you've eaten a few small meals throughout the day, you can eat a little bit, but then actually just kick back. Take 10 to 15 minutes. Turn off the radio. Turn off your phone for a few moments if you're clear on your schedule. Just close your eyes. While you're sitting in your truck, just close your eyes and just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to collect yourself. Take a moment to let the world melt away. Don't be looking at social media, right? That's going to drain you of your energy. So if you do number one, eat small little meals or snacks, however you want to call it, in between service calls. And if you can find 10 to 15 minutes, maybe instead of waiting in line at McDonald's, you pull over, you have your sandwich, kick back, close your eyes, let the world melt off of you. That's going to boost your energy. Let's move to point number three. And point number three is going to, point number three is going to sound like a little bit of a bummer, but point number three is a good point. Try to avoid large consumptions of alcohol. Hey, look, I'm not anti having a beer, but this is what I know. Alcohol inhibits your ability to sleep well. Some of you guys would say, you haven't drank till you passed out. But seriously, drinking alcohol at the end of the day can sometimes prevent you from actually going to sleep and having a restful night. So try to limit your consumption of alcohol and try to get to bed at a decent time if you're not working late hours. So all of these things are going to help you to have a healthier life balance for yourself. In addition to that, business owners, if you're listening, I also recommend that you do a few other things. I'm going to give you a few tips that would really help your technicians, all right? Number one is limit on-call rotation. Limit on-call rotation. A person shouldn't be on call every single weekend if you can help it. That's a great way to burn them out. Business owners, here's number two. Every now and then have a mandatory long weekend. That could be once a month. It could be every 6 weeks. But make it mandatory to where your people are going to get 2 days uninterrupted, 3 days uninterrupted. Give them something to look forward to. That actually will go a very long way. Here's number three. If a person is not on emergency call, don't put it out there like they might be. Hey, you're not on emergency call this weekend, but could you be on standby just in case? If you can avoid that, please avoid that, because what that does is even when a person is off work in their mind, they're thinking you might call it any moment, even though I'm technically not on standby. I'm in this weird kind of zone of what am I going to do in my life. It's no way to relax. And here's the last tip on it that I'd give you. Guarantee your guys some sleep. If your guys are running calls till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, taking care of just some sort of odd emergency situation, you know what? Don't make them be on their next call the next day at 7. Guarantee them some sleep. Work with the dispatch team. Work with the office to make sure that these guys can get some sleep. Because the worst thing on the planet is to do that for a person for an extended period of time. You're going to end up having burnout. And by the way, no, it's not about being tough, and it's not about buck up, kid. It's just about living a life that is sustainable. So, these are some tips that are going to help you to keep your energy up as best as you can in these busy seasons. I hope it helps. Got any questions or comments? Let me know. And as always, go ignite the power within.